Hello, I'm Marchetti, researcher at the Museum für Naturkunde of Berlin. And today I am at the Friedenstein Foundation of Gotha in Thuringia, Germany, to talk about recent research that we published in Current Biology, which is about an exceptional specimen. And this specimen was found in the early 90s in the Cabarzichnus quarry in the Thuringia by Thorsten Krause, and then there was a short note written by Thomas Martens to say how interesting is this specimen. And the co-authors and I started studying it in detail and realized it can have a very important meaning, because this body impression of a potential reptile includes scalation patterns and other features that are relevant for the evolutionary history of tetrapods. We described this specimen, which includes a tail impression, a hind limb impression with a foot, and also a body impression, together with another specimen stored at the Museum für Naturkunde of Schleusingen, which also preserved the head impression and the forelimb impression. And we recognize that these body impressions are unique, and so we give them the new name, which is Cabarzichnus pulchrus, which means essentially pretty trace from Cabars.
These fossil impressions preserve one of the oldest examples of reptile skin ever discovered. If we look closely, we can see a clear pattern of small, tightly packed scales covering the body and tail. They form an organized mosaic, not unlike tiles, showing that the skin already had a structured and protective surface. What's remarkable is how familiar this pattern looks. It strongly resembles the scales of modern reptiles, such as lizards. Even after 290 million years, the overall organization of reptile skin has remained surprisingly consistent. This tells us that the basic design of reptile scales evolved very early and proved to be extremely effective.
And moreover, there is an interesting feature in this specimen in the anterior part of the tail. Some scales appear modified. There is a larger scale with a trapezoidal shape and some smaller scale in front, and also some modified hexagonal scale on the side, and a line that we interpreted as the cloacal opening. And we compared with modern animals and also reconstructed it. And so we could determine that this sub-horizontal cloacal opening is the earliest found in the reptile lineage. And this body impression is clearly associated with a footprint that we assigned to Varanopus microdactylus, which is a tetrapod footprint already known from Germany, from the Permian. And the type material is from the Bromacker locality, so it's stored here in the Friedenstein Stiftung. You see here a trackway. And by studying the proportions and some morphological features of these footprints, but also of the body impression, we could correlate these parameters to skeletons of these Permian or small Permian tetrapods, and we found out that the best match is with the stem reptile Eudybamus cursoris from the Bromacker locality. This body impression, this resting trace, was produced by Bolosaurian, which are reptiles, stem reptiles, and so we could determine that these scale impressions were the oldest scale impression in the reptile lineage.